What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and Gamestop. Next to EA, I'm not sure there is something more hated in the gaming industry, and I've got a lot to cover with that, but make sure you stick around to the end of this video. I've got an important call to arms for all fans of escapism. But GameStop, if you are a gamer, even if you casually play games, you undoubtedly have been into a GameStop. For me, they represent an oasis at the public mall when I have to go and watch my wife try on her fourth plain white shirt and try to find how they're each different. I always treated myself to a browse of whatever was going on at GameStop. Now, I rarely purchase from them for a couple of reasons. One, I don't like buying packages that are open. If I'm going to pay $60 for a disc, I want that cellophane on it. This is a disc I bought from GameStop a week ago. It's brand new. They put this sticker on after I bought it. It was already open. I want my games to come like this in a cellophane wrap. I know it's irrelevant. It's in there, but that's just how I am. Let me have my thing. But GameStop has spawned a wide variety of amazing content on YouTube, from everything from dumpster dives, which get millions of views.
Oh, nothing inside, just a DS case. Another DS case. That's a PlayStation case. No way. This is an original. That's a fat PlayStation case. The Wheelman is back. Driver 2. Oh my god, no way. Is this one of the ones that has two? It is. It's two. This is supposed to have two discs? Yes. Oh my god. I don't know if these are like super rare or not, but I remember these as like a kid. The two discs in like one pack thing. This is what they used to look like. The Driver 2. Oh, it's in there. Oh, no way.
To why I quit GameStop videos.
Hey there, party people. I'm a little afraid to make this video. I don't know why. It's been so long. But I'm going to tell you why working for GameStop sucked so much. I'm going to warn you now, I'll probably curse in this video. I know lately I've been trying to be a good girl and not make too many curse words happen, but it might happen because it just sucked so much.
Ultimately, like it or not, GameStop is as much a part as gaming culture as anything else. And with news of catastrophic financial losses rolling out this past week, I think it's time to officially start accepting the fact that it is over for GameStop, and it is likely to be closing in the very near future. I don't see a way it can really beat the trends, and a lot of it, as much as I would love to blame on them and their practices, isn't even their fault. So let's look at what's happening to them financially, and then let's look at some possible reasons why. So it came out late last week that they lost nearly $500 million just in Q3 of last year. That is a 3-month span. It has released its third quarter financial fiscal report and ended with a net income loss of nearly $500 million. The report included the recent sale of Spring Mobile, one of GameStop Corporation's owned companies, which brought in approximately $700 million, and they still lost $500 million. They previously said that they would, quote, pay off debts, fund share repurchases, reinvest in core video game and collectible business to drive growth, or some combination of these options with the funds from Spring Mobile. So they have $700 million in the bank, but they're operating at mega huge losses. Why were they losing so much? Well, pre-owned sales were down 13.4% over quarter, which is the core of what GameStop's company is rooted in. Now, I would argue that is long gone with this whole conversion to digital, and I'm going to share some statistics with you later in this video, and the way the video game industry has killed the pre-owned market. That has affected GameStop more than anyone else in terms of a retail standpoint, but also the consumers. But you can see, however, new hardware purchases were up 12.8%, and software purchases increased by 10%. So in spite of gains selling PlayStations and games, Accessories also increased 32.6%, heavily due to headset and controller sales. They experienced solid growth in the third quarter, including double-digit growth across software, hardware, accessories, and collectibles, underscoring GameStop's leadership position in the video games and our unique ability to satisfy our customers' entertainment needs. However, software sales benefited from a compelling title lineup compared to last year, including strength from Red Dead Redemption 2 and Spider-Man, as well as the earlier launch of Call of Duty compared to last year. We are especially pleased with our performance in October, a month where the NPD group disclosed that U.S. physical game sales grew by 46%, while U.S. physical games video game revenue outpaced the industry and increased by 63%. Resulting in market share gains. Essentially, GameStop is one of the only places still doing well selling physical discs. They have lowered their expectations for the fourth quarter and is predicting sales will lean more heavily towards hardware than they initially planned, while also having underperformance in pre-owned sales and certain games resulting in higher losses, Fallout 76, and previously expected. For more on the game titles that assisted GameStop's growth past the quarter, read about Red Dead Redemption 2, selling 725 million in copies over the first 3 days. Also, Spider-Man 3 was the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive in history, selling 3.3 million copies in the first days. Now, this is important. We've had some really strong blockbuster releases, but you could say if you sell video games, this is something you need to rely on every fall. Broketober is real. But when you read the financial analysis, GameStop Corp is, quote, lost at sea, with leadership that remains unjustifiably optimistic in the face of declining new and used software sales, a shift toward lower margin hardware sales, continued discounting, and Hail Mary effort to sell the rest of the company. That's a view of benchmark analysis Mike Hickey, who said the company's weak financials are an impediment to attracting bid, dampening takeover hopes that had been one of the few catalysts for the stock this year. The video game retailer, GME, up 1.32% in amidst strategic review as it struggles to sell physical games to customers who can simply download them at home. And he said it's open to the sale of the company. So GameStop wants out. GameStop has become irrelevant in the video game market as consumers accelerate the migration toward digital purchase and as games adopt live service models like we see with Battlefield 5 that greatly extend the average play experience, where the platform publishers work towards future subscriptions and streaming models. What's more than that, management lacks investor credibility, and there are no signs of turnaround. We believe that GME has zero terminal value, and we see financial performance and valuation suffering over the long term. The analyst is sticking to his sell rating on the stock and lowered his price target from $9 to $10, or 32% its current trading level. GameStop shares were trading down 9% Friday after the company slashed forecasts for the year and reported third quarter earnings after market close. GameStop posted net losses of $488 million or $5 a share after net income. Now, without getting too much into the stock side of it, let's just look at it. This is the GameStop stock over the last 5 years. So if we go back to 2015, 2014, things were okay. They were trading at nearly $50 a share. But whoa, look at this. It bottoms out in March of this year at $12 a share, down to $12.79 on Friday. Or I'm sorry, that was back on November 16th. If we look at the 5-day forecast, it's no better. It peaked up, but then everyone sold off Friday after the earnings. This is right before they reported missing their by losing $500 million, and then right after. So they lost huge money again. They've started to come back a little bit, but as you can see, over the 5-year period, this paints a pretty dim future for GameStop. And why might that be? Well, it would be easy to say that they have predatory habits in terms of the used game market, but I don't think so. I think, yes, what they offer for used games is absurd. However, with eBay and even the Amazon seller market, you have lots of ways to sell your own software. I would say as the consumer, it's been a bigger hit to us when developers put things into game that restrict our ability to resell them. Online-only options, season passes, all this crap that makes games harder to sell. That hurts us more than GameStop offering you $3 for a title. every reseller in history has always offered pennies on the dollar for products. I would never buy them, but there are people that buy used products, used games from GameStop. Now, if you're going to buy an older title for $20 or $10, sure, fine. But the thing is, when we look at the market shift from physical copies to digital, that I think paints the even bleaker picture and would put me in a position to say that just GameStop, I don't think they can turn this around, whether it's a combination of their leadership and vision, as well as just market shifts. Let's look at, while most gamers still prefer physical video games, they'll say, when we look at the market trends, it's not that way. And this is one of the biggest points of contention that Battlefield 5 fanboys have with me. They'll say, but everyone bought it on digital. That's why sales are down. Everything's fine with Battlefield 5. Well, this does support them. This does say that people are in huge numbers shifting to buying digital software only. If we look at 2009, you had 80% of games being sold being the hard physical copy. Fast forward just 8 years, it's flipped. It was 80-20 one way in 2009, and now it's 80-20 the other way in 2010. It looks like there's probably going to always be that core group of people that just only want to buy physical copy discs like me, but there's plenty of places to get them without having to go into the damn mall or walk around in the store like all squished up so you don't knock anything off the shelves. This is just a shift in the market, and unfortunately for GameStop, there's really nothing they can do about this. They have to literally find other things to sell, which is what they've done. They've tried to push headsets, and they try to push game controllers. They're pushing these retro models. You could buy a lot of the Classic Edition stuff there. In fact, I bought that NES Classic Edition at GameStop along with this Divinity Original Sin 2. So one could say that, yes, maybe they can survive in this 20%, but it seems extraordinarily unlikely. This is a huge market shift. I mean, if you have 100, let's put it in perspective. If you have a pool of 100 customers, 100 people that are going to buy a video game, right? In 2009, 80 of them were ordering online or going into a store to buy. In 2017, it was down to just 21 of them. And now you have to compete for that 21 with Walmart, Amazon, Target, everywhere else that sells video games and isn't in the damn mall or in some strip mall that's out of your way. I mean, any game you want, you can get while you're doing your grocery shopping at Meijer or Walmart. How does GameStop compete with that? On top of that, their prices aren't even any better. So unless the game industry helps them out with subsidies or exclusive products, I don't see GameStop really turning around. And you know what? Here's something that might be an unpopular opinion, but I think the eventual, in the very near future, closure of GameStop is actually a really bad thing. When you look at when Toys R Us closed, how bad it hurt the industry in general, it extended way beyond just whether or not you like Toys R Us. It hurt huge companies that produce a lot of titles that people really like. If you look at the earnings of what happened to Hasbro when Toys R Us closed, and I firmly believe that Toys R Us was just, again, they got Amazoned. How could Toys R Us possibly compete with Amazon, Walmart, Meijer, and every other grocery store on the planet carrying everything they carry? Fleet Farm during the winter. Times changed and they couldn't keep up with them, but it still had a remarkable impact on the market. And when GameStop closes in the near future, and I believe strongly it will, we will see many stores close probably in 2019 to cut costs. It just has to. They have to trim their fat, because when you're a big box store like that, the money they have sunk into real estate and rents and leases at buildings is probably in the hundreds of millions of dollars, because they've got hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million square feet across the United States alone. And if you pull all those out, that's just one last place for gamers to go browse and see what's going on and hang out with other people and say what you want. you know, shopping in GameStop for a game just always felt better than going to Walmart or Meijer to buy the game. You go to Walmart, you point at the glass, you find some part-time employee who's walking around doing nothing, and to unlock the case and just give you your game. You know, they don't care. They don't play the game. They have no interest in it. Yeah, going to the counter, buying GameStop and having to turn down a million upsell offers always got annoying. But I'm going to be sad to see it go, to be honest with you. And I think that this will hurt the video game industry when they eventually close. And it will just kind of change the experience for us gamers. And, you know, I wish them the best, but years of bad practices and poor foresight, seeing the market change in front of them, really, really killed them. And this is a sign of certainly what's to come. If they can't make money in the Q3 and Q4 in the buying season, what are they going to do in the first quarter next year when nobody's buying anything and only everybody's just trading in and returning items? I just don't see a very good likelihood that GameStop turned this around. So pre-rip GameStop. Also, I promise you a special message at the end. Look, I've got to point something out. No hate. No hate, okay? A lot of you know that I am working on building a website that is free of political ideology. Will it discuss politics as they relate to a particular game? Sure. Will they talk about Trump or Hillary? No, they won't. And we've got a nice bit of steam going. We've got 400 and something backers. But look at this. Anime feminist. They're beating us. This can't stand. This can't. I've added some additional levels to back. If you have any questions, let me know. We've got to at least be anime feminist. I mean, these people, their entire website is to scrub anime for feminists. I'm not kidding. And they're crushing us. They have 30% more funding than we do. We've got to pass them. Let's do it. I hope you enjoyed this video. The link to the exclusively games Indiegogo will be in the pinned comment. In the pinned comment where you can read about everything that's going on. We're right on this first or second stretch goal. I really want to knock out the next 2 this week if we can, so we can begin some more development on user-generated reviews and things like that. But hell, over 420 people have already backed this, and I'm super thankful for everyone getting behind it. Let's get that to 1,000. Appreciate all of you. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.